Before this video starts, I want you to know if you don't want this season or reveal, I guess, to be ruined for you, then do not watch this. This has all of everything that you're going to need to know about the new operators. They just got leaked. I did not find this leak. I found it on Reddit actually, and I don't know who leaked this. Obviously, I'm not for leaks, but now that it's out, it's going to be out everywhere. So I figured I would make a video explaining the new operators for those who want to know. If you don't want to know, click off the video. The reveal will be in a few days. And don't worry about it. So I'm going to go ahead and start with Ace, who looks like he's going to be very, very powerful. One of the best weapons in the game is what he's getting, and he has a new hard breaching that looks pretty much unstoppable, and that should completely neutralize bandit tricking. Just overall, you're gonna have to put your bandits down if you want anything to do with denying entry, I guess. But as you can see, I mean, it looks like you aren't gonna be able to just explicitly pick one side, as this charge looks like it goes off pretty quickly of Aces. I don't know what it's really called yet, but it looks like some sort of explosive device, obviously. So from this video, it looks like his gadget can also destroy deployable shields, and it can also destroy bulletproof cameras if it's on a hard surface. As you can see, if it's on just a like unbreakable surface, it's not going to do anything. It has to be somewhere that is unbreakable. Looks like it can destroy everything though, from castles to, you know, just normal hard walls. It can destroy maestro cams if you put it above them. So I think this is going to make everything a little bit more complicated, as you're going to have to more plan out where your bulletproof cams go, your maestros go. So those are not going to be able to go on just normal hard surfaces like that. You're going to more so need to, you're going to need to put it somewhere where there's not a hard surface. So you're going to have to put it on a wall that's unbreakable, which might change a lot. Wamai and Jaegers will destroy the charge, it looks like, but it's obviously limited, but you would have to have it on the inside, so it still doesn't really do much, but it's still good to note that. You also see House in the background, which looks pretty interesting. So let's get into Melusi, or Melusi. I don't know how you're going to pronounce that, but it's a Banshee that she has, and it has a meter of 6 meters. So as you can see with the Ash, it is 6 meters where it'll start distorting her and slowing her down. So that's all it does, is just slow you down. So it's going to stop hard rushes and stuff, like as you can see with the knock. But now let's talk about counters. So it looks like, for real, it's going to counter only like Ash, you know, Nook, a bunch of fast operators that want to rush. But the only way you could destroy it is with either Ash, Sophia, nades, explosives, any explosive, right? Or you could shoot it from the back or melee it. Obviously, it's like a bulletproof camera where you can melee it like just like that, the same exact mechanics. But that is going to slow you down, obviously, to get to it. So it's pretty interesting. I like how Melusi is so far, but at the same time, it's another gadget operator, like a big gadget operator in this game. As the pros have stated, it is becoming more of like a gadget simulator, gadget destroying simulator, right? So in general, I feel like she is going to be just adding to that. You need more ways to destroy this stuff. And now that every good operator has a very, very pivotal slowing down, right? Like barbed wire, lesions, whatever, all this stuff is really annoying, and it just aches on that 20-second meta, and this just does just that. Once this leak thing was over though, he started going into a just Q&A, so I'm going to leave it off with that, show his little Q&A of the operators just to see what is real, what is not, because this person obviously has played it. I don't know when these come to test server. I'm obviously guessing that it's in the next few days, so we'll be able to play them soon. But for now, if you are really, really curious about them, then just go ahead and watch these last few minutes, and hopefully you enjoyed this. I know some people just want to know stuff instantly, so that's why I'm putting this out there. I'm one of those people, so feel no shame in liking the leaks. I know how it is. You just want to know if this game is going to be fun next season, because if these were awful operators, which I don't think they are, I think they're really, really good operators, and we're actually getting some good operators finally, and some good changes with, say, Callie getting an SMG. That is going to be cool. She's going to get the SMG that Clash has, which is going to be awesome. There's some other changes as well. I don't have the full patch notes, obviously, but those are the main things there, and we get some Ace and Melusi footage early, so What more could you ask for?
Now, as we're still on the topic of the Banshee, I will be going through some quick myth busting. So basically what this will contain is just a bunch of questions that most people may ask or may be curious about how the gadget works, what's the different interactions. If I do miss out some questions, or if you guys still have some things that you want testing, do feel free to leave your comments down below about that, and I'll get the footage up and I'll try to figure that out and put it all together in another video. We'll be starting with the first one. How loud is the gadget and how far does the sound travel? So after testing, it goes about 23 meters far. If there's a direct line of sight, there's no walls in between, it goes up to about 23 meters. Now you can actually hear it at about 24, 25 or maybe 26 meters, but in a real game situation, you're probably not gonna hear something that soft because even like the wind sounds louder than the gadget at that point. How loud is the gadget? Well, it's kind of relative, so it's a bit hard to test this as I don't really have like a decibel calculator or something like that. But all you need to know is it's not as loud as a goo mine, but it's really just annoying. The sound is just, well, annoying. It's not that loud because the further you are from it, the softer it gets, really. So it's rather hard to test that one, but basically it's not all that loud, so you don't really have to worry about your position being given away, especially if it's 23 meters. Effectively, you only hear about 15 meters is when you can kind of hear it, when there's other gunshots or, you know, walls breaking, stuff like that. Can the Banshee be used vertically? The answer is yes, if it's only one floor. Anything more than that, it doesn't actually trigger the device. But one more thing to note is that it only works as long as there's a direct line of sight from the Banshee to the attacking operator, which means if the operator is behind the gadget, or let's say the Banshee is placed on the floor of first floor and facing up, and it stuns a guy on the second floor, it cannot affect a player in the basement directly below the Banshee as the Banshee is facing upwards. Another question, does the slow effect stack? Answer is no. No matter how many Banshees you place, the slow effectiveness will still remain the same.
I'm ready.
Now another question, will it activate when placed behind and above a shield? Now the answer is yes, but it will only work if there is a direct line of sight. Now what this means is if the attacker is crouched or prone behind the shield on the opposite side of where the Banshee is placed, they will not trigger the Banshee device, meaning they won't be slowed. There's no, basically nothing happens really.
Understand.
Does it affect teammates? The answer is no. Does it have a finite duration? The answer is also no. It keeps going until the Banshee device is destroyed. Does each Banshee only affect one attacker at a time? The answer is no. It actually activates and slows the entire group as long as the attackers are within the radius of the Banshee. Will it break if you shoot it from the back through a soft wall? The answer is yes. Only if you destroy the soft wall that has a large enough space surrounding the Banshee, then only then will the Banshee actually break. So you can't just open a small hole in one shot and it's gone, unless you have a shotgun. Now for the last question, does the Banshee affect differently for the different speed operators? Now the short answer would be yes, but for the long answer, no, because I am not too sure what's the difference in speeds in terms of ratio between a 1 speed to a 3 speed, whether the effectiveness percentage is still the same or not. But generally speaking, if you're a slow operator, you will be much more vulnerable within the effects of the Banshee, as you'll be stuck inside of it much longer than if you were a 3-speed that can just run up to it and melee it. So now we'll be diving more in the in-depth areas about Melusi, about how I think she will be used. For my first point, I feel like she'll be used mostly on a roamer, you know, given that she's a 3-speed with a good gun and also has impacts. Now lastly, I feel like she can be a really strong solo roamer if that's what the defending team may want to do. Now this is because the Banshee